It has been quite some time since I've sat down to film a video. I'm in a new house, new setting, definitely not my aesthetic bookshelves, but this will do for the time being. Because I am away from all of my books, I have been utilizing the heck out of my Kindle. Don't look at this book because I did DNF Rise of the Dawnbringer, but we won't talk about that. I've read some great books on my Kindle recently, and I've been going through my Goodreads list of recent books that I've read and noticed that a lot of them are on Kindle Unlimited, and I thought I would share those with you as well. And on top of that, I thought I would share some Kindle Unlimited books that are on my TBR because I want to continue to use my Kindle. I'm trying not to buy too many physical books because I don't have much space. So this video is just going to be Kindle Unlimited coded. I wasn't going to do these in any particular order, but I did want to categorize them by genre, and really on my Kindle I've only read some romance and fantasy romance. I haven't really gotten into like mystery on Kindle Unlimited or anything like that, so I am taking recommendations. Please leave some comments below of Kindle Unlimited books that you love. Let's start with romance. I know I've talked about this book before, but I loved Real by Kennedy Ryan. This book is about Neva, who is a small actress, and Cannon, who is a big director, and they somehow meet. Kind of a typical meeting in the film industry, like a person knows a person and that's how they met, but they hit it off right off the bat. The chemistry is wild. I mean, Cannon is not even head over heels. Head over heels isn't the right word. He is infatuated with her and just so intrigued, and he's never seen anyone like her. She's small town, she's unique, she's quirky, and he likes that, and he wants her in his movie. I personally loved this book, and I believe Kennedy Ryan has many series and other romance books on Kindle Unlimited. I know her Before I Let Go, that series is not on there. I did double check. Loved that series as well, but it's not on Kindle Unlimited. But Real is, and it's not talked about enough. I listened to the audiobook and Kindle, and I loved both of them. Highly recommend. We have two Julie Soto books that I'm going to talk about, and I really have been loving Julie Soto this summer. I've read 3 books from her just in the past few months, starting with Forget Me Not, which is weird because Not Another Love Song by her isn't on Kindle Unlimited. I think she kind of swaps what is on Kindle Unlimited sometimes and what's not, so you just might have to type in Julie Soto to see what's available. But Forget Me Not, as of right now, is on Kindle Unlimited. Amma is a wedding planner, and she has to team up with her ex, Elliot, who is a florist, for a massive wedding project that she's working on for a famous couple, and he ends up helping her. And they end up rekindling. They kind of go through what failed in the first part of their relationship, like why didn't they work out in the first place, and now they're kind of figuring it out in the book. And it's a unique take on a romance because they've been together before, they already know each other. It's kind of heated, they don't really like each other at the beginning of this, but they get used to each other, they're forced to work together. It's that forced proximity. Highly recommend Julie Soto's romance books. I'm really loving them. This one isn't a romance book, but The Thrashers by Julie Soto is a young adult mystery thriller. It could be a children's mystery book, and I still won't figure out the ending or the plot twist. I'm not good at guessing what the plot twist is or who the killer is, or I'm never good at that. So this one took me by surprise. I did love the ending. A girl passes away in a high school. Her name is Emily. She unalives herself. There's a friend group called the Thrashers who she was desperately trying to be a part of, and specifically Jody is the main character who we're focusing on. She is kind of one of the top dogs in this friend group, and Jody had a soft spot for Emily, but she never was a part of the friend group. So it's kind of 13 Reasons Why-ish. It was young adult. I don't love young adult books, but it's just enough when it's a mystery thriller to interest me because I can never guess what the hell is going on. This one I'm going to keep very brief because you all know I love the Boys of Tommen series. How many books are there now? There are in fact 6 books. I had to double check. 6 books. Loved releasing 10, but unfortunately that one's not on Kindle Unlimited yet. I'm pretty sure there's maybe a contract delay for some authors, when there's a new release. Releasing 10 came out earlier this year, and it's not on Kindle Unlimited just yet, but the other books in this series are. As usual when recommending this series, please look up the trigger warnings. It's a little Not a little, it's a lot a bit dark. And I'm not tired of talking about this series at all, but the Windy City series by Liz Tumford is on Kindle Unlimited. So surprised that it's still on Kindle Unlimited. I don't know how publishing works. To be honest, I'm just a reader and I come here to talk about them, but like this series almost seems too good to be on Kindle Unlimited. Not that there's anything wrong with KU, but I think this series just has a quality to it that I don't typically see on KU. And I loved all of these books, specifically The Right Move and Play Along, but the most recent one, Rewind It Back, was also a great one. They're all on KU. Like, you need to take advantage of that. If you like romance, not even just sports romance, like the sports is so minor in it, they barely talk about the sports. It's all about the romance and the friend group. You really do have to start reading at mile high though. You can't really jump around. Sometimes I say books are standalones within a series. This one is more of a series because as you read the series, you're building the relationship in the friend group. So you do have to start at book 1. I would recommend. I haven't read the new book in this series, but Lakefront Billionaires by Lauren Asher. It's a trilogy right now. Maybe there will be more. I think it might be completed because the most recent one, Love Arranged, came out on August 19th. So just a few days ago as I'm filming this. I will be reading it on my Kindle, hopefully soon, because I don't have my physical copies with me, but I did love the first 2 books. They're a little slow and a little dense. Like, they are thick romance books, but I think they have that slow burn element to them, and there's always a grumpy male. Like, the male is always a grump, always a little bit rude, and I kind of like that in men. So, but it takes place in this really small town, people and friend groups and families kind of tied together in a small town, and they're all billionaires, so it's not relatable at all. And this one is a recent book that I read. I'm pretty sure I read it in a vlog. Adored this book and will absolutely be picking up more books from this author, but just last night blew me away because it's so much more than a romance. There is a friend group, Eve, Justin, Susie, and Ed. Really surprised I remember all those names. And an unexpected love interest. So there is a 5th character that comes into play, and it was just heartbreaking because something right at the beginning of the book happens and I was not expecting it at all, and you're watching the main character go through her grieving stages. She's dealing with losing someone very, very close to her, and she ends up getting in this unexpected romantic relationship with someone else who's close to this person who passed away. So it was so well-rounded for a romance. You got the romance in the second half of the book, but the first half you were really just there with the main character, grieving with her, and the quotes are so pretty. And it is on KU, which is the most important thing. Now getting to the fantasy/fantasy romance genre of KU books that I've read recently and would recommend. You know, I have had some rough luck with this genre on Kindle Unlimited. It is a very saturated genre right now, at least fantasy romances. There are a lot of books being pumped out that seem very similar to each other, copy and paste, and I'm not enjoying a lot of them. I've DNF'd 2 within the past 2 weeks. That hasn't been a great feeling because you spend like 20 to 30, maybe 50% of the book with certain characters and you're like not clicking with them. It seems repetitive, but there are some decent ones that I've found, and again, I would love your suggestions and comments down below because I would like to like this genre, but for some reason I'm only liking the popular, hyped up books within this genre, like Sarah J. Maas books and Rebecca Yarros. I'm not liking many of these smaller author books within fantasy romance, and I think that's such a bummer. So, recommendations. I have to recommend the Book of Azrael series. I've only read the first 3. Oh, that's because the 4th one I think comes out in October or November, but it is on Kindle Unlimited and one of my top 10 maybe fantasy romance series because I've clung to these characters. I really love them. This last book, the 3rd book, was a little bit slow, I'm gonna be honest, but I'm expecting big things in book 4, and I know that will be a lot of fun. We've got our main character, her name is Diana, and she is a creature that is meant and focused and dialed in and meant to kill gods, and she ends up falling in love with a god. You see the dilemma. And Samkiel, the god, his world, his realm has been ruined, and he's kind of struggling himself, and Diana's kind of struggling with loss that she had, and when they both come together, they realize, like, why are we set out to kill each other? You know? In book 3, obviously there's a lot more politics that get involved, and other point of views and friend groups, and so many different, not friend groups, so many different characters that get involved that are within this found family. I do have another Julie Soto book. Rose in Chains by Julie Soto is a Hermione fanfic that turned traditionally published. I am gonna be honest, it wasn't my favorite book of hers, but I'm looking forward to the next few books. I loved the Harry Potter series growing up. I did have a hard time with this book specifically taking Harry Potter out of it. Like, our main character, her name is Bryony, a little too similar to Hermione, and Tovin is Draco. It's a decent fanfic turned traditionally published. It was okay, but I really want and expect more in the next book, and that second book will kind of determine whether I continue the series or not. Like, it's similar to Manacled, where the bad guys win. Voldemort wins, but it's not Voldemort, it's this female character, female bad guy. It was originally called The Auction before she changed it to Rose in Chains, and it's literally the good guys of Hogwarts, but it's not Hogwarts, of Hogwarts getting auctioned off to the bad guys, and it's dark. It is a little dark, but it's not as dark as Manacled. If you've read that, you can handle this for sure. The next one is Metal Slinger. I have mixed feelings about this one because I am excited for book 2, but I didn't love book 1. I hated the ending of book 1 because we were misled. And I won't say any more because I don't want to spoil anything, but I did read it in this vlog right here, so you can go watch it there. But I think the second book, or this series in general, has potential, but I thought the world building really lacked. Like, I want more of this world rather than a focus on this silly love triangle of characters going on. I didn't really care for the love interests or the drama going on. I wanted more of the world because it was such a unique fantasy world with the water and people like living in trees within the water. It was so cool, but she didn't expand on that. So I want more, and I think book 2, hopefully, fingers crossed, will have that. But I think you should give it a try because a lot of people have loved it, and I think it will get better. The next book is Direbound, which I also read in that fantasy reading vlog. Really liked this book. I didn't like the main character as much, but the book itself and the world and the plot and the build up for the cliffhanger, wow, so great, and definitely makes me want to pick up book 2, which I think releases in March or May of next year. So I'm really excited for this one to pick it up on my Kindle. Like, I wish this second book, like, I had waited so I could binge read book 1 and 2 because I was so interested in picking up book 2 immediately. Our main character's name is Marin, and her sister gets kidnapped by a bad guy. I'm trying not to spoil anything, really trying to think about it. And Marin thinks that enlisting in the army or in the military of this world will help her get to her sister faster so she can kind of like wiggle her way through the system. I don't really know what was going through Marin's head at this time, but instead of going to the army, she gets pulled to become a direbound or have a bond with a wolf. A little Fourth Wing-ish, because there are some like trials that they have to go through with their wolf. It was a little cringy at some parts, and there is a love triangle that I wasn't a big fan of. It was a little tiny bit predictable, but I love it when there's a twist with a little side twist, and this one got me, so enjoy it. I'm not going to talk long about this next one because I still want to read books 2 and 3, and I think my thoughts aren't very formulated just yet. Right there, The Poppy War, I bought it, but it is available. This whole series is available on Kindle Unlimited, which again, this series almost seems too good to be on Kindle Unlimited, but most of R.F. Kuang's books are, and I'm so interested to read Babel, and her new book, Catabasis, might be saying that wrong. That one's not on Kindle Unlimited yet, but because her other ones are, I'm curious to see if that will eventually be on there. The Poppy War is dark as well. There are some really dark scenes, but the first half of this book really got me. I loved it. There's a lot of education. She was in school. She was learning a lot about the world and the magic of this world. Kind of Jade City vibes, which you guys know I love Jade City. So a great book, but I want to read books 2 and 3 to kind of formulate my final thoughts, because it's a mentally challenging book to wrap your head around because of the terrible things that are happening in this world, and a lot of it relates to our own history, and it's a little concerning. So there's a lot going on that I want to flush out first. I am going to rapid fire my TBR because this video is getting so long, but if any of these books are also on your TBR, please let me know. Maybe we can read some together. The Answer is No by Frederick Bachman. Phantasma, which also could potentially be my Patreon book club pick for September. Things We Water by Mariana Zapata. I'm a little on the fence about this one because I love Mariana, but this one doesn't sound like I would like it very much. It doesn't intrigue me too much. The Games Gods Play by Abigail Owen. Anathema, probably saying that wrong, by Carrie Lake. Really interested in picking this one up kind of next month. Like, I'm gonna put this one on my immediate TBR. Love and Other Killers by Bryn Weaver. This just came out and it's a short story based off the Ruinous Love trilogy. I'll probably pick this up. I think it's less than 100 pages, just as kind of like a quick read. Lady of Darkness, which I didn't love the lighting in here. My God. I'm depending on the natural light right now. I didn't love another book that I read from her. Didn't love this one, so I'm not sure if it's her writing or if it's the style of book or style of romantasy. It was just a little cheesy. There was a lot of world building in that book, so Lady of Darkness is kind of like iffy. If you liked it, let me know. Off Balance, which is a sports romance gymnastics series by Lucia Franco, but this author has a ton of other books on Kindle Unlimited, some dark romance that I'm interested in, all in my library just waiting for me to actually pick them up and read them. And then I kind of have to be in the mood for dark stalker romances, but the Whitsec series, Find Me, I believe is the first book. That series interests me a tiny bit. Again, I have to be in the mood for that kind of romance. The lighting is really not working for me here, but that is it for this video. Thank you for watching, and thank you guys for being patient on my uploads and understanding of the new setting and the new surroundings that I'll be in. Again, I will reiterate this 1,000 times. Please leave a recommendation down below. I need some help. I need, like, I'm not buying as many. I need to rely on my Kindle, and I need you guys to just recommend me some because I'm scrolling through. I'm not really liking what I'm seeing. So help me out. If you want to support my channel, please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.